I'm on the site of the old steelworks. There's no steelworks here anymore. These days it's a college and a sports centre. Back in the day, this place was a major hub of steel making and one of the biggest steel producers in Europe. My grandfather actually worked in these steelworks as a chemist back in those days. I never got to meet my grandfather, but it's crazy knowing that once upon a time he was on this very ground. So I'm going to go now and speak to some locals and find out what resilience and mental toughness and being made of steel means to these people. Anything that's helped you get through tough times?
Beer,
is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beer and having a man shed.
So what, a bit of time for yourself to do your own thing and have a bit of space? And
Away from 3 kids. Yeah.
Is there anything in life that you'd wish you'd known sooner?
Only that you'll never stop learning. Only that you think things will get easier and they don't. You just get different challenges.
Right.
And at nearly 53, I think that'll continue. Yeah. It'll just, you think you got something cracked and then it's on to something else. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
And nothing's ever final. Everything ever, it just moves on to something new. So
this is the site of the old steelworks. Yeah.
My grandfather worked here. My father worked here for a bit. So
really,
yeah.
Oh, so you got relatives that were toiling on this ground
right here. Funnily enough, that's where I'm going now. My dad's house. He passed away in July, so. Get some things from his house now.
Oh, so that's been another challenge then. With all
certainly
that
has. And at 44, you have 3 kids, so
that's another challenge.
That's a big challenge. I thought I had life cracked. And we did have a lovely life, and then
the next chapter started.
Yeah, then 3 kids. Yeah, if you have 1 child, stick up 1.
Really,
that's my advice to anybody.
That's part of the memorial over there. See it there, those steel united on there? Well, the barrel roads they used to roll through the steelworks, through the steel. Okay. Steel used to go through that to flatten it off, you know. Yeah, it was probably one of the biggest employers around. The whole town was there, really, you know, working. And,
well, it stretched from as far as it used to be down the other railway line.
Really? So this whole area was all
from where you come in there, right the way down virtually to Cook. The pits and the steelworks were the main sort of focus in the area, you know. So it was. I mean, everybody worked in the steelworks, so in the mines, you know. It's not such an affluent area, and there's a lot of unemployment, but there's a lot of industry coming here, and there's been a lot of industry in the past.
And they've got all the people that died in the pit disaster in 1960, I think. I went to school with a lot of people, because I lived in that area, that dads died there, and they died when they were baby in arms and things.
I've got to be honest, I applaud people who did work in the mines, because it was not nice. But the conditions for the miners to work in the dust, it wouldn't be allowed these days.
And they say that sky here would be red from the ash. They'd put the washing on the line and they'd have to bang it off before they took it in. My
partner's dad, he worked there, and he tells you one or two of the accidents that happened there, you know, which are quite horrendous really. Again, torn up in the metal and things like that. You know. We are a bit more resilient in the valleys, but that's the way you're brought up, and it's, you know, it is tough sometimes. There's not a lot of jobs about. People talk about dysfunctional families and so on, and sometimes there's no patriarch, there's no father, you know, sometimes. So you do become a bit tough out. That was my case. Right. My mother brought me and my sister up on her own. She was out working most of the time, so you tend to fend for yourself a bit, you know, so you do get a bit tougher. I think a lot of military background, like Mark, you go to the military, you learn certain things and you tend to look after yourself. So maybe we are a bit tougher in the valleys, because there's a lot of families that end up being, you know, single parents and so on, which is quite sad really, but it happens, and you find that these people tend to sort of be a little bit tougher, you know.
My mum died when I was 11, so I was brought up without a mum. My dad worked as hard as he could, so when I joined the military, it was sort of, we went from sort of having ice on my windows in the cold weather to sort of having 3 meals a day given me, like, you know. I loved it, you know, but when I was young, and I know what, I'm 63, so we are talking this time of year, the windows would be frozen in my bedroom. There'd be ice on the inside of my bedroom window. I'd write my name on it, and it was that cold in there. There was no central heating upstairs, nothing. It was unbelievable. The only electric you had in my house upstairs was the lights. There was no sockets anywhere that you could put things in. You know, it's crazy. So when I joined the army, it was
a relief in it.
You've got to be honest,
So I'm a boxing coach up here in the Heads of Valley. There's a quite a large fraternity of boxers in the valleys. That's the only thing you've got to be careful of when you talk to it. You normally can tell. They sort of walking out, yeah, all right. I could just run quicker I could when I box. In all the years I started boxing when I was 18, and I finished boxing when I was 34, but then I left it for a while, and I went, and the last sort of 5-6 years I've gone back and done the coaching.
Yeah.
And I can say all the boys I've known and girls have gone through the boxing clubs.
Yeah.
They're the ones who never seem to get in trouble. It's a good disciplined sport, and now it's got even better because you've got nutritionists and you've got people who know to give the right exercise and so on and so on. And then people learn to enjoy it rather than it's a chore to go to boxing. They want to go and enjoy it.
Any advice for a younger person going through a tough time?
Always ask for help. Always ask, don't be afraid to go and ask for help. That's the main thing. I think there's a lot of emphasis on people now taking their own lives and things like that, which is terrible. Yeah. It's on my hat, yeah. We're never alone.
Yeah.
So we used to go and do cold water dipping with them.
So
on a Saturday morning they go cold water dipping there. They have generated so many people and young men go in there, and they all talk to each other, and they have a Tuesday night with a coffee. And one young boy started that up because his friend had committed suicide, and they all got together and they do that, and this has been going for 2 or 3 years now. So, and it generates, every Saturday morning 9 o'clock they meet and they go and have a cold dip up in either the Blue Lake or up in the river in Ebbw Vale pits. And we used to go, but it is cold. But,
I bet it'd be cold today.
But they're doing it, they break in the ice. Talk to each other and be social. Talk to each other and learn different things and learn about other people as well. We just don't do enough of it. We just talk to people. Yeah, just have a chat about things.
I spoke to a few locals and had some good conversations. The last conversation turned into about an hour long chat. I had a couple of other conversations which I didn't capture on camera, but this person was actually telling me that they were living on a building site and they didn't have any running water, and so they used to have to go and walk up to a natural spring up the top of the mountain up there past that church and wash their face in the spring every day. So there's a tale of resilience, right, and not taking the little things like running water for granted. And I also spoke to someone else who had terminal cancer and who was out walking every day, making the most of life. It's a good reminder not to take things for granted, not to take life for granted, because you don't know how short this life is, and you never know what's around the corner. None of us really know how long we're going to be here, so cherish every day and make the most of it. I'm going to go and get a workout in now. I've never trained here before, but I'm going to go to the Ebbw Vale Sports Centre, get a full body workout in, and yeah, let's do it.
No other way, living like an outlaw. Living like an outlaw. Just call me an outlaw.
Workout complete. I'm gonna head home now and wrap up this video. We've heard some great insights and advice today from Steve, who told us about the importance of taking time to decompress and realizing that life is a never-ending journey of learning. We also heard from Mark and Phil, who told us not to take basic things like electricity and heating for granted, and to realize that hard times make tough people, and the importance of doing activities like boxing, which can give you the discipline to help you to navigate difficult times. And when you are going through a tough time, to realize that there are people who are there, that we're never alone, to realize how important it is to talk with other people in real life, one-to-one, not one to a screen. Anyway, I have one more thing. I have this book. I've not read it. I know it's a popular one. It's called The Obstacle is the Way. Let's pick it on a random page and see what it gives us. All right, let's have a look. Once you start attacking an obstacle, quitting is not an option. It cannot enter your head. Abandoning one path for another, that might be more promising, sure, but that's a far cry from giving up. Once you can envision yourself quitting altogether, you might as well ring the bell. It's done. And on that note, I'll see you next time.